Imagine this. You're in a room, surrounded by people, laughter echoing, conversations flowing, and yet your eyes land on someone who, for reasons you can't explain, feels different. They glance at you, just for a second, then look away as if nothing happened. But deep down, something tells you there's a hidden current beneath their calm surface, a quiet pull that says they want you but they don't want you to know. This is the psychology of hidden desire, the unspoken signals that scream louder than words. And today, I want to uncover those signals for you, not just so you can notice when someone desires you, but so you can transform how you see yourself, your confidence, and your power as a man. Because attraction isn't always declared, it's often disguised. But here's the truth. The greatest mistake most men make is ignoring these signals. They think silence means absence, but in psychology, silence can be the loudest proof of longing. Someone who desires you but hides it won't shout it from the rooftops. They'll whisper it through their body language, their tone, and their actions. And when you learn to see, you'll never look at human interaction the same way again. This isn't just about knowing if someone wants you, it's about sharpening your awareness, building confidence, and walking into any room with the power to read attraction like an open book. Subscribe our channel Next Gen Emma Tooth, because every insight I share here is meant to fuel your growth, your confidence, and your unstoppable self-belief. Now let's dive into the signs, the ones people can't hide no matter how hard they try. One of the most powerful indicators is the battle between the eyes and the heart. Think about it. When someone desires you, but doesn't want to show it, their eyes betray them. They might avoid your gaze as if looking at you is too revealing, or they'll look too often, in bursts, as though they can't help but check if you noticed them. It's this push-pull dynamic, look then retreat, that screams attraction. Why? Because desire is dangerous for the guarded heart. The brain says, don't reveal it, but the body whispers, I can't stop. But here's where most men lose the game. They assume indifference when they should recognize restraint. That woman who keeps glancing at you in short bursts isn't uninterested, she's protecting her vulnerability. That friend who avoids looking directly at you when emotions are high isn't cold. He's wrestling with feelings he doesn't want to confess. The hidden truth. People rarely hide what they don't feel. They only hide what matters too much. Now let's break a pattern here. Let me ask you this. Have you ever thought someone didn't like you, only to find out later they were intimidated by how much they did? Think back. Maybe it was in school, maybe at work, maybe even in your circle of friends. That shock you felt when you realized they had feelings for you was not because they suddenly started liking you. It was because you missed the signals that were always there. This is why understanding human psychology isn't just fascinating, it's life-changing. It's the difference between living blind to opportunities and walking with awareness that elevates your presence in every relationship. Another signal is nervous energy. Pay close attention to how someone behaves when you step into the room. Do they fidget with their clothes? Do they fix their hair unnecessarily? Do they suddenly straighten their posture as if they're on display? Nervousness around you isn't weakness, it's attraction fighting to be concealed. Psychology tells us that the body reacts faster than the mind can control. That's why a person who desires you might stumble over words, laugh at things that aren't even funny, or suddenly grow quiet when you're near. Attraction doesn't always roar, it trembles. But here's the empowering part for you as a man striving for confidence. The way you interpret these signals determines your energy. Most men either overthink them or ignore them altogether. But if you recognize them with calm strength, you don't just become more attractive, you become magnetic. Why? Because people are drawn to those who can see without judging, notice without exposing, and understand without demanding. Confidence is not about chasing validation, it's about holding awareness with quiet certainty. Think about how powerful this makes you. Instead of being the man who's constantly confused, constantly guessing if someone is into him, you become the man who walks into a room and reads the field. You notice the quick glance, the nervous smile, the sudden silence when you arrive, and instead of doubting yourself, you stand taller. You don't need confirmation, because you already know. That is true masculine presence, not begging for signs, but recognizing them with calm authority. Let me break the rhythm again with a hard truth. Attraction is rarely about what you say, it's about how you make them feel. Someone can laugh at your jokes, Someone can talk with you daily, but if they don't feel something deeper, it's just noise. But when a person desires you secretly, their feelings leak into their behavior without their permission. They'll remember the little things you said weeks ago. They'll unconsciously mirror your movements. They'll linger just a second longer when you pass them something. These micro signals aren't accidents. They're the psychology of desire trying to stay hidden but failing. Now ask yourself, are you paying attention, or are you too distracted by doubt, insecurity, and overthinking to notice the truth in front of you? This is where personal growth meets attraction. The more secure you are in yourself, the sharper your awareness becomes. You can't read others clearly if your own vision is clouded by self-doubt. That's why the foundation of recognizing hidden desire isn't tricks or tactics. It's self-confidence. When you're grounded in your worth, you don't chase signs, you interpret them. You don't beg for love, you recognize it. Let me share a quick story. There was a man who always believed he was invisible to women. He thought he wasn't tall enough, handsome enough, or charming enough. But one day, a friend pointed out something he never noticed. Women often fixed their hair when he walked by. They smiled slightly more when he entered the room. They positioned themselves closer in group settings. For years he misread these signals as coincidences, when in reality, they were invisible threads of attraction. Once he realized this, his energy changed. Not because women suddenly started liking him, but because he finally started seeing what was always there. The truth is, attraction isn't always created, it's often recognized. Think about the power that gives you. The moment you start recognizing hidden signals of desire, you stop living in insecurity. You stop asking, does she like me, and start knowing she's showing me. And even if the person isn't right for you, even if you don't want to pursue it, you carry that awareness into every interaction, making you magnetic to others. Because people sense when you know your value. They feel the difference when you're not searching for approval, but simply standing in your confidence. So let's go deeper. Another undeniable sign of hidden desire is attention disguised as indifference. Pay attention to how someone reacts when you're talking to others. Do they suddenly become quieter, as though they're observing? Do they try to insert themselves subtly into the conversation? Or do they act overly casual, pretending they don't notice you, when in fact they notice everything? This paradox is classic human psychology. When desire is hidden, it often flips into its opposite. That's why a person who secretly likes you might act cold or indifferent. They're protecting themselves from exposure. But indifference fueled by desire feels different. It's not emptiness, it's tension. And here's the shift. Instead of being confused by that tension, learn to embrace it. Recognize it as a signal, not a rejection. Too many men take mixed signals as rejection, when often it's just hidden attraction. Remember this, people don't conceal what's meaningless, they conceal what's powerful. So what do you do with this knowledge? Do you call them out? Do you confront them? No, the strongest men don't rush. They observe, they notice, and they allow attraction to unfold naturally. Because hidden desire is a delicate thing, it grows best when it feels safe. That's where your role as a man of confidence comes in. You don't need to push, you simply need to remain grounded, strong, and aware. That's what makes someone feel secure enough to reveal what they've been hiding. And let's not forget, this isn't just about romance. This applies to friendships, opportunities, even professional settings. Human psychology is universal. People desire connection, respect, closeness, but they often hide it out of fear. When you understand this, you move through life with sharper instincts, better relationships, and a deeper sense of presence. Now let me leave you with a final truth. Hidden desire is not just about them, it's about you. Because at the core, what you really want isn't just to know who desires you, it's to become the kind of man people naturally desire. A man of strength, awareness, and grounded presence. A man who doesn't chase signs but inspires. A man who recognizes the truth without needing it to validate his worth. That is the man you are capable of becoming. So the next time someone glances quickly and looks away, the next time you notice nervous laughter, the next time silence grows heavier when you walk into the room, don't dismiss it. See it for what it is. A hidden signal of desire, a reflection not just of them, but of the magnetic energy you carry. Stand tall, stay aware, and remember, confidence is the key that unlocks the hidden language of attraction. And when you master it, you don't just win attention, you win respect, growth, and the kind of presence that no one can hide from.